As fruit, when ripe, has to fall, so all beings live constantly in fear that they will die. Hello, friends. So I wanted to, we have another simile. Fruit, when ripe, has to fall. So this is a kind of another reflection on the nature of reality. This is what happens with fruit trees. When the time is right, when it's ripe, it falls. So it's another kind of nature, real world reflection to, and it's like looking out in the world and seeing the nature of reality in all these little things. It's like it's always there. We just have to choose to actually see it and not ignore it or avoid it. But the reason I chose just this one, because this has a specific point that's kind of a little different. This is talking about the fear. Beings live in fear that they will die. Right? So there's whole sections of psychology that basically say like all fear is, for the fear of death, and like almost everything we do is related to the fear of death. So this is, I don't know if I agree with that 100%, and I don't know if, that's still not even in psychology, that's not, everybody agrees with, like, that's all there is. But it's definitely a large part. People are so fearful of death that they go out of their way to avoid having to deal with it. Not even just for themselves, but other people. I saw this years and years ago when, with my wife, we were all in our early 20s. Like one of her best friends, once she had cancer, the best friend basically disappeared. And it's not that the best friend was a bad person or that they're evil or anything like that. She's a good person, but she just couldn't handle. She literally could not mentally handle dealing with that situation. And years after Jackie died and stuff, like we talked about these kind of things and stuff like that, because we still remained friends, her and her husband, after that. But you can, like, to me, that was just like an example. Like for years, I kind of was actually agitated about it, because it felt like a betrayal. But, as I got into the Dhamma and as I reflected more on these things, I understand, she's just not that different than most other people. It's just like most other people. Like when you have a sickness, people die, people disappear in many ways. Because, when I was the young widower, I noticed that the other people I knew around my age who were just getting married and starting a family, having me around them was kind of a tough reminder. I could lose all this. Everybody I know, So this fear that we have is natural. Every being fears death. But having that fear lead us towards unskillfulness, lead us towards delusion and ignorance, is actually not beneficial to ourselves and not beneficial to others. So people go to pretty far extremes to avoid old age, sickness, and death. Even very unskillful things, even harming others to get what they think they want. So bravely and courageously, with kanti paramang tapotitika, with patient endurance, slowly over time, facing these realities, bravely, courageously facing these realities, reflecting on them. Sure, there'll still be a little fear. Until you're awakened, there will be fear of death. But there's more important things to fear in Buddhism, like karma. Karma is probably something more that a Buddhist should fear. Are you doing good or are you doing bad actions? That's probably much more something to fear than death itself. So these are good reflections, I think, for today. So friends, Sukhihotu, may you be happy and at ease, practice well and be well, and may you have a spiritually successful and peaceful practice until we meet again, which, if I'm alive, should be tomorrow morning to close out the week with another Morning Monastery Experience. So have a good day.